Hello, everybody. Welcome to May's Week 4 Vibecast. This is for May 23rd to May 29th. This week is a pretty good one, especially for Aries, Taurus, Libra, and Scorpio risings. We have Mars and Venus changing signs and dignity, as well as some helpful sextiles and trines from other planets to ease us through the shifts and adjustments we've been dealing with for the past 2 weeks. We are having some spicy action between Venus and Pluto and Mars and Jupiter, and a quiet new moon in Gemini to finish the week and the month off. There is a lot to discuss, so let's go ahead and jump in. The first vibe to discuss is pretty dynamic and brainy. Mercury retrograde sextiles Mars at 29 degrees Pisces and exacts on the evening of Monday, May 23rd, or the morning of the 24th. This is a mixture of some interesting planets with a smooth aspect. So our minds and our words may be a bit sharper, our focus a little bit stronger, starting out the week strong. This is the energy of getting the wordle on the first try or getting like a 100-point word in Words with Friends. It's also a time when making or reviewing decisions could come up. So changing your mind might be a thing. Mercury is still retrograde, so strategic energy is present. It's a good time for discussions or debates on detailed subjects or with detailed specifics. Specifics are big here. An agreement could be formed or could be changed. Like I said, Mercury is still retrograde. To get a better idea of what sort of topics could arise for you, you could look at the house topics that Taurus and Pisces rule in your whole sign chart. So Scorpio risings could be feeling this with their partner and their projects, or a partner with a project. It could have to do with children and a partner as well. Actually, this will be a pretty fun one for Scorpio risings. Sag risings could feel this adjustment at home and with their daily routine. Some sort of specific change or discussion with your home and your routine. Overall, it's a good one to take advantage of. The sharp brain energy will help recalibrate whatever Mercury retrograde is stirring up and changing for you. At the beginning of the week, we will also be feeling Venus in Aries sextiling Saturn at 25 degrees Aquarius. Another sextile bringing in assistance for us during all these changes. Venus and Saturn enhance our sustainability, our reliability, our commitments, our foundations, our security. While Mars in Pisces is intuitively working out the details, Venus sextile Saturn brings in the need for solid and realistic foundations with a checklist. So details on something are being discussed, boundaries are being placed with this Venus sextile Saturn. Clarity is prioritized. Venus and Saturn enhance what they work on, so you can look at the topics that Aries and Aquarius rule in your whole sign chart to get an idea of what themes to look out for with this enhancement. People with planets or points around 25 degrees of Aries and Aquarius will be noticing these vibes the strongest. And this transit you'll feel Monday, and it'll exact on the morning of Tuesday, May 24th. So there could be some lingering vibes on Tuesday. But later on Tuesday, Mars enters Aries. So this is a big one for all of us, but especially for Aries and Scorpio risings. You guys will be feeling it the strongest. There's a major boost in vitality, more energy to get the thing done, more energy to be active. Inflammation could also be more likely with Mars and Aries. It's very inflammatory aspect, transit, if you're prone to it. The moon enters Aries a little bit later, and under 2 hours after Mars enters Aries, so that's kind of interesting. It's like they were holding hands, stepping into the fire together. Things will be feeling a bit spicy Tuesday night. Inflamed passions taking the wheel. Energy, vitality, vigor are all pluses when Mars is in the home sign of Aries. It's also comfortable going too far, saying too much, being too sharp. It's a delicate balance between being real and authentic and cutting someone down because you think they're stupid. So drama can be a bit more of a thing when we have more energy to fight about what we think we need to. Twitter will probably pop off with Mars and Aries. Twitter is an Aries, so I always think about that. Online arguments galore. If you do feel the itch of aggression, Mars appreciates any physical activity like lifting, running, exercising, the usual. But also you can just go for walks, hikes, or use fire, burn a bonfire, cook, wood burning, or do something with sharp things. Mars loves sharp things as well. Getting new knives, knife throwing, knitting, anything with needles as well. Any art with the color red will do. Wearing red. Try and remember that Mars needs an outlet. So if it's not getting its energy released properly, it'll pop up in some way that you probably weren't expecting, like in accidents, hurting yourself in some way. Anger might be coming up a bit more than you're used to, but try not to push it down. I always preach about anger being sacred, and there's only so many opportunities to release it in a healthy way. So this is a great time to take advantage of your sacred anger at something and channel it into something. Therapy, screaming into a pillow, any type of anger exercises you have. Something you find spiritually worthwhile, like a warrior fighting for a cause, or even something simple, like I said, like going on a hike, a skate, or knitting something fun. All things that are good to remediate or use this energy for. Authority will probably be extra around this time, so be cautious around cops or anything that enjoys being the boss. Step lightly, stay in your lane, don't get burned. Our desires will be a lot more visceral at this time, more wanty. And the drive to work towards those desires will be provided. So that's the exciting part about Mars and Aries. As long as you don't burn out. So remember your boundaries, your energetic boundaries and your physical boundaries. So that's Tuesday night. So Wednesday will be pretty lit as well. But also on Wednesday, May 25th, Mercury, who is retrograde in Taurus, will trine Pluto at 28 degrees Capricorn. So this is another day for details, but specifically investigation and research or uncovering new information. It's a productive and a very driven day. The last time Mercury was in a trine with Pluto here was on April 27th, so you can look back to your calendar or your agenda and see what you were up to around this time to get an idea of what could be resurfacing, to be recalibrated and researched. Pluto brings in depth or transformation and alchemizes a situation to turn it into something else. So Mercury and Pluto like to communicate this, use technology as tools, possibly travel, also some transformative travel. But yeah, investigative, informative, and sometimes with Pluto there's obsessions. So energy that, when not directed in a useful way, can get you stuck in like a wormhole of lurking or investigating unnecessary things on social media, for example. But it is a good aspect to review and fix things on your website or communicate with someone about a project that you're working on or helping you get to the bottom of whatever you're trying to figure out around this time. The next day, Thursday, May 26th, we have Venus in Aries squaring Pluto at 28 degrees Capricorn. And this can bring up a bit more of an intense and darker side of Venus and Pluto in mundane astrology. So, power struggles could take the stage around this time, or possibly power struggles with women's rights. That's kind of relevant right now, for example. Power or control dynamics in your relationship or in relationships that you're involved with. Maybe a relationship transformation of some kind, especially if Capricorn or Aries are your first, 4th, 7th, or 10th houses in your whole sign natal chart. Or if you have planets or points around 28 degrees of Aries, Capricorn, Cancer, or Libra, you'll be feeling this strong as well. This could also be a time when chemistry is very lit with somebody, feeling major magnetism or with somebody or with something, obsessively desiring something. We have Pluto again, or noticing someone else in your sphere feeling this way. I feel like this can be a really fun transit if your boundaries are on point. So do your best to stay connected to your body and your needs if you feel this wave come over you around Thursday. But on to a bit happier times. By Saturday, May 28th, that's when Venus will enter the home sign of Taurus. So I may be biased, but I feel like this will be a major relief of tension, especially after Pluto's square with Venus on Thursday. Taurus and Libra risings will be feeling a major boost this weekend, which is majorly deserved after the time Venus was in Aries from May 2nd to May 28th, when those risings were probably not feeling too hot or much like themselves. Venus moving into Taurus invites us all to prioritize enjoyment and to embrace pleasure in our lives. Relationship things may become a little bit more harmonious and enjoyable thanks to the relief of this ingress. It feels like going home to a sweet, luxurious, comfortable, earthy home. Spending time in nature can be more prominent, so feeling more like hiking or gardening, spending time with plants in general. It can be very beneficial to spend time with plants, embracing the joy of the grounding when we're by the plants. Safety, security, and earthly pleasures are all highlighted in our lives. So eating extra yummy foods, watching your favoriteest shows, spending time with your favorite people, embracing all of the senses, feeling an overall sense of sweetness and, like I said, security. Soft things will feel a bit softer, colors will be a bit brighter, a little bit more vivid, and food will be so much yummier. The moon will be in Taurus too during this ingress, conjoining Uranus, so there could be an unexpected surprise that you enjoy as well. The whole sign, Taurus and Libra houses in your chart, will be getting a boost, so you can look to those topics to get an idea of what to expect and what will be getting a bit more harmonious in time. So Venus is moving fast and will only be in Taurus until June 22nd. So my advice is to intend to take advantage of all of this joy and pleasure that's available to you during this time, because you will be pleasantly rewarded with Venus in Taurus. Also, this weekend, Mars in Aries conjoins Jupiter at 3 degrees. So, that'll be going exact on Sunday, May 29th. Mars and Jupiter together always give me Joan of Arc vibes. I've said this before, though this time in a conjunction in Aries. So, it might be a bit more fiery than good old Joan. Passion, desire, hedonism are galore. Extra boisterous energy. There may be more confrontations going on regarding morals or ethics or beliefs in some way. This aspect gives us the faith, the initiative, the energy, the inspiration, the strength to do the thing. Or maybe for some, feeling a little anxious at this time. This is a day you need to be aware of overdoing it. Don't hurt yourself. As I said in the May horoscopes, this can be a bloody transit, so like physically. It's because Mars and Jupiter both love blood, so be mindful. Don't bleed yourself for them. Instead, maybe watch like a horror film or a hospital show or a zombie show, like something that is bloody so that you don't have to get bloody. But don't take that too literally, okay? That's just my opinion. So give the planets their blood, just not from you. This energy is best dealt with dealing with a physical thing or a project, focusing the dynamicism, focusing all the energy into something specific. and productive, because it can be very productive. So if you're a Capricorn rising, this could be extra energy put into your home base in some way. If you are a Pisces rising, this could be extra pleasant energy going into your money or your material possessions. If you're a Taurus rising, you could be feeling this in your body. So I prescribe rest and alone time and reconnecting with your higher self, maybe going on a walk by yourself, meditating, pulling cards, some sort of reconnection. And finally, the last transit to discuss this weekend is actually a lunation, because we'll be feeling that new moon at 9 degrees of Gemini. It'll be exacting the next morning, but we should talk about it today because I want you to be prepared to do any new moon rituals this Sunday night before the start of the week, possibly. So, as I always say, and everyone always says, a new moon is about new beginnings, a new change. This new moon is hosted by Mercury retrograde on Algol in Taurus. So tempers and or extremes may happen with this new moon, or be aware of the tendency towards that, or be aware of the intentions behind the seeds you are planting with this new moon. Try and keep it as pure as possible. Algol can indicate losing your head type of energy. So if it's not you, you may notice it in someone else. But some form of seed is taking root in the whole sign Gemini house in your chart. So you can look to that part of your chart to see what kind of seed is taking root during this new moon. And so, for some examples, Virgo rising, there might be a new project that's taking root at work or with what you want to be known for doing. If you're a Libra rising, there could be a new higher perspective or aha moment that takes root over the next 2 weeks for you after this new moon or during this new moon. If you are a Sag rising, there could be a new beginning taking root with your partnerships or your clients. But overall, this is a nice lunation to start us fresh for June. And nice to know we have a break and we're done with eclipse season for now until fall. So remember to light a candle for the things you want to manifest for this new moon, and look to the house that Gemini rules in your natal chart for some ideas. And that's what I have for the 4th week of May. Big shifts for Aries and Taurus, Scorpio and Libra houses in our charts. Lots of dynamic energy coming through to help push us through all these adjustments if we need a push, and to prepare us for when Mercury stations direct next week. Yay. And all those shifts get implemented. So thank you all for being here. Are you doing anything astrologer good or astrologer relevant this week? I would love to hear any stories you have. Keep me posted, and I will see you next time. Thank you. Bye.